When I took office as your Secretary of Health and Human Services, I made a promise to the American people. I said we were going to expose the truth about what is making this nation sick. Today, I need to talk to you about something that is going to make you very, very angry. You think you are being healthy. You make a salad. You pile on the vegetables, the greens, maybe some tomatoes, and then you reach for that bottle of ranch dressing in your refrigerator. You pour it on, feeling good about your choices. But here is what the agencies will not tell you. That creamy white dressing you just put on your healthy salad contains the same industrial ingredients used in house paint. The same whitening agent that Europe banned 2 years ago because it damages human DNA. And the base of that dressing is an ultra-processed oil extracted with petroleum solvents that is driving our chronic disease epidemic. We are being poisoned for profit, and the FDA has allowed it for decades. Let me be very clear about the scale of what I am describing. Between 80 and 90% of the creamy salad dressings sold in American grocery stores are built on a foundation of soybean oil. We are talking about Kraft Ranch, Hidden Valley Original, Wishbone Ranch, Ken's Steakhouse, Hellman's, store brands from Walmart, Kroger, Target, all of them. The first ingredient listed on most of these bottles is soybean oil, not olive oil, not anything your grandmother would recognize. Soybean oil, a subsidized commodity crop that has hijacked our food system. Now I need you to understand what soybean oil actually is and how it gets into that bottle. This is not a natural product. This is an industrial science experiment. The process starts with soybeans. And over 90% of soybeans grown in America are genetically modified to withstand Roundup. That means they are saturated with glyphosate, which the World Health Organization classifies as a probable carcinogen. But the contamination does not stop in the field. To extract the oil from the bean, manufacturers use a chemical solvent called hexane. Hexane is a petroleum derivative. It is in the same chemical family as gasoline. They soak the soybeans in this industrial solvent to pull out every last drop of oil for maximum profit. And residues of hexane can remain in the final product. You are eating trace amounts of gasoline solvent on your salad. After hexane extraction, the oil goes through desgamming with phosphoric acid or caustic soda. Then it gets refined with more caustic soda, which strips away any remaining vitamins or beneficial compounds. Then comes the bleaching process, where they use industrial clays and activated carbon at high temperatures. And finally, desodorization at temperatures between 230 and 270 degrees Celsius. At those extreme temperatures, the polyunsaturated fats in soybean oil oxidize. They form trans fats. They form toxic compounds. The final product that goes into your salad dressing has been through a chemical gauntlet that would make your head spin. And the FDA has never required manufacturers to disclose any of this processing on the label. But here is the metabolic crisis this creates in your body. Soybean oil is extraordinarily high in omega-6 fatty acids. Now, we need some omega-6 in our diet, but the ratio matters. Our ancestors consumed omega-6 and omega-3 inches, roughly a 1-to-1 ratio. Today, the average American consumes these fats in a ratio of 20-to-1. Some estimates say 25-to-1. This extreme imbalance is driving chronic inflammation throughout your body. It is disrupting your mitochondrial function. Studies have linked excessive soybean oil consumption to obesity, diabetes, anxiety, depression, and neurological dysfunction. If you look at the data from before 1980, Americans did not consume soybean oil in anywhere near these quantities. And we did not have the obesity crisis we have today. We did not have 1 in 3 adults with prediabetes. We did not have children developing fatty liver disease. The timeline correlates directly with the infiltration of soybean oil into our processed food supply. Now, let me tell you about the toxic whitener, because what gives ranch dressing and Caesar dressing that creamy white appearance is not just dairy. Manufacturers add a compound called titanium dioxide. You will see it on labels as titanium dioxide, or sometimes just listed as color, or the European code E171. Titanium dioxide is a pigment. It is the same compound used to make white paint opaque. It is in house paint, it is in industrial coatings, it is in sunscreen, and it is in Ken's Creamy Caesar. It is in Hellmann's Light Ranch. It is in store brand dressings across America. Here is what is truly outrageous. The European Union banned titanium dioxide in food products in 2022. The European Food Safety Authority reviewed the evidence and concluded that titanium dioxide in nanoparticle form is genotoxic. That means it damages DNA, it can cause mutations that lead to cancer, it accumulates in your intestines and disrupts your microbiome. It causes chronic inflammation in your gut lining. The science was clear enough that Europe said this substance cannot be in food. But in the United States, the FDA continues to allow it. This is corporate capture in its purest form. The agency that is supposed to protect American consumers is protecting corporate profits instead. The Europeans are protecting their children from DNA-damaging compounds while we feed those same compounds to our kids on their dinner salads. I want to go through specific products so you know exactly what is in your refrigerator right now. Wishbone ranch dressing. The first ingredient is soybean oil, then water, then sugar. You are putting industrial seed oil and sugar on your vegetables. This is biological incompatibility. Your body does not recognize this as food. Wishbone Creamy Caesar. Again, soybean oil as the first ingredient. They add some Parmesan cheese so you feel like you are getting something Italian and traditional, but you are getting petroleum extracted, hexane processed, oxidized seed oil, Hidden Valley Original Ranch. This is the brand that invented ranch dressing, and the base of their product is soybean oil. The American classic is built on a foundation of metabolic dysfunction, Kraft ranch dressing, vegetable oil, which is code for soybean oil. They use buttermilk to give it that tangy flavor, but the fat that makes up the bulk of the product is inflammatory omega-6 seed oil. Ken's Steakhouse dressings, almost their entire creamy line uses soybean oil, and their Creamy Caesar contains titanium dioxide for that white color. You are getting the double hit of inflammatory seed oil and a banned European food additive in the same bottle. Hellmann's Light Ranch. Titanium dioxide confirmed. They use the paint pigment to make the lower fat version look creamy and appealing. Store brands from Walmart, Kroger, and Target follow the same formulas. Great Value Ranch, Kroger Ranch, Market Pantry Caesar, all built on soybean oil. Many contain titanium dioxide. Blue cheese dressings across brands follow the same pattern. And here is something that particularly bothers me. The light versions and light versions often contain more additives to compensate for reduced fat content. They use more titanium dioxide to maintain that white, creamy appearance. So people trying to make healthier choices by choosing lower calorie options are getting more of the toxic whitener. The agencies will not tell you this, but the salad you make at home with these dressings is not healthy. You have taken vegetables that could reduce inflammation and support your metabolic health, and you have drenched them in compounds that cause inflammation, disrupt your hormones, and potentially damage your DNA. This is the great deception of American nutrition. We are told to eat more vegetables. We are told salads are healthy. But the food industry has turned even salads into a delivery system for industrial chemicals and subsidized commodity crops. The science tells us exactly what these ingredients do to human health. We have decades of research on omega-6 fatty acid imbalance and inflammation. We have the European Food Safety Authority's comprehensive review on titanium dioxide genotoxicity. We have animal studies showing soybean oil consumption leads to obesity and diabetes at rates higher than even fructose. We know that glyphosate residues on GMO soybeans persist through processing, and yet the FDA has done nothing. For decades, the regulatory agencies that are supposed to protect you have operated in an incestuous relationship with the industries they regulate. Former food company executive staff, the FDA, former FDA officials take lucrative positions at food companies, and in this revolving door, the health of the American people gets lost. We are going to change this. But right now, today, you need to know how to protect your family. We have to stop eating science experiments and start eating food again. Real food. The kind our grandparents ate, Your grandmother did not put hexane extracted seed oil on her salad. She used olive oil. She used vinegar. She used herbs from her garden. And she did not have the chronic disease burden we see today. There are clean alternatives available. Primal Kitchen makes dressings with avocado oil as the base. No soybean oil, no titanium dioxide, real ingredients you can pronounce. Tessa Mays uses olive oil and simple ingredients. Bragg makes vinaigrettes with organic apple cider vinegar and olive oil. But the best solution is the simplest. Make your own dressing. 3 parts extra virgin olive oil, 1 part vinegar, whether that is balsamic, red wine, or apple cider vinegar. Add some Dijon mustard, minced garlic, salt, pepper, and herbs. Shake it together. It takes 60 seconds, and you know exactly what you are eating. No hexane, no titanium dioxide, no glyphosate-saturated GMO crops, just real food. Olive oil is anti-inflammatory. It supports cardiovascular health. It is what humans have consumed for thousands of years in the Mediterranean, where chronic disease rates have historically been low. We know olive oil works with human biology rather than against it. This is what I would put on my own table. This is what I feed my family. And this is what I am asking you to consider for yours. I want you to go to your refrigerator after you finish listening to this. I want you to pick up that bottle of ranch dressing or Caesar dressing, turn it around, look at the ingredients. If soybean oil is the first ingredient, you need to understand what that means. If you see titanium dioxide listed, you need to know that substance is banned in European food products because it damages DNA. Then I want you to make a choice. We are changing regulations. My department is working to reform how these ingredients are approved and labeled, but we cannot do this overnight. The corporate capture of our regulatory agencies happened over decades, and untangling it will take time. In the meantime, you vote with your wallet every day. Every time you buy a clean product instead of an industrial one, you are telling manufacturers what you want. Every time you leave that bottle of soybean oil dressing on the shelf, you are sending a message. The market will respond to consumer demand. It has to. The European standard proves that food companies can make products without these toxic ingredients. The same corporations that sell American children titanium dioxide in their dressing sell European children products without it. They know how to make clean food. They choose not to do it here because our regulatory agencies let them get away with it and because it costs slightly more. We deserve the same protections that Europeans get. American children deserve food that does not contain DNA-damaging compounds. American families deserve to eat a salad without consuming paint pigments and petroleum-extracted oils. This is the fight we are in. This is why I took this job. And this is why I need every single one of you to understand what is in your pantry. We are going to make America healthy again, but it starts with knowledge. It starts with reading labels. It starts with rejecting the products that are making us sick and choosing real food instead. Throw out the industrial seed oil dressings. Make your own with olive oil and vinegar. Choose the brands that are doing it right. Protect your family and join this movement. We are not going to let corporations poison our children for profit any longer. The truth is coming out. And once you know, you cannot unknow. Once you understand what is in these bottles, you will never look at salad dressing the same way again. That is exactly how change begins.